Hi and welcome. My name's Melody and this is the 16th episode of the Melody Crochet podcast. I come to you from our home here in Texas where I live with my two boys, my wonderful husband, and our two puppies, and I just share with you my yarn life. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you would like to join the Ravelry group where we talk about alongs and just questions and frequently asked stuff, please join us over at the Melody Crochet podcast Ravelry group. I also have a blog, MelodyCrochet.com. Let's see, what else is there? Snapchat. I love Snapchat. I love Instagram. I love Instagram stories. And gosh, it's almost Christmas. This is the Christmas episode, guys. This is the tree. You might notice the heavy amount of purple. That's pretty much how my life rolls. I love purple. They used to have more purple, but I did try to incorporate some different colors this year just to liven it up, because I've had an all purple tree and living room at Christmas for probably a little over a decade. So pretty awesome. I'm all excited. It's a week out. I think today is Thursday and Christmas is next Monday. Can you believe that? It crept up on me. It's been a wild month for me, a lot of other people. We've had emotional roller coasters. I'm just focusing on the positive, and I'm hoping that you guys all have plenty of positive to focus on too. Give you a big hug from me. And let's get into it, shall we? It is delicious. Check out the mug. It says, "Don't make me text Santa." It's perfect. I was looking all over for a Christmas mug. I finally found this at Target, I think yesterday. I have found Stash Red Velvet tea. It is amazing. It's herbal, so there's no caffeine. It is beautiful out. The sun is so bright because the last few days it's been overcast and rainy, and we got really cold, so we lost all the leaves in the trees and the grass turned yellow everywhere. So the reflection is just like boom, sun's out this morning. I was so happy to see it though. It does so much for my mood. It's just wonderful. I've locked my dogs out because they need to exercise after all those days inside. You will probably hear them in the background sounding like, I don't know, like they've never been inside before and they just can't wait to get out from the snow, but it's not cold outside. They're probably muddy too from the rain. Ooh. But enjoying my tea. Hopefully you have something too. I have quite a bit to share and I'm really excited about it. I don't know how long it'll take, but let's find out. I have finished objects. Yeah? Yeah? Oh my gosh. Couldn't be more thrilled. This is my cozy cardi. Check it out. It's amazing. Look at all that. I love this yarn metallic Christmas going on right there. Oh, I knew when I saw this I needed a crazy Christmas sweater out of it. I bought 3 balls then. I since bought 2 more because I needed it. I'm like, that is my Christmas sweater right there. It even has, I don't know if this is showing up for you guys because we're so bright. Let me see here. Boop. Check out that glitter. That's not shimmer. That is full glitter, friends. Oh, it screams my name at Christmas. I'm telling you. I love loud, crazy Christmas. It just makes me happy. So I did the Bob Wilson 123. Claire over there had a new pattern and an along, and she shared it so generously with everybody in a written pattern, which was awesome. And even though you could have totally done it from there, she also made, I think, 8 videos about how to make it. So awesome. So here is mine. It is a little shorter than average. Hers was a big granny square, and then she went back and forth down here to make it even longer and kind of go down the hip, which was awesome. But I didn't want anything that long, so I just stopped at the granny square and moved on to the side. Right around the time I moved on to the side is when I took a break and I made a test knit, and I should have just finished it up. I had no idea how fast it was going to be because I was probably 6 hours from done at that point. I should have just pulled through, finished it that night and gone away because I would have had this all season. Instead, I finished it about 4 days ago. So hindsight is 2020, right? but it was so quick because it's basically granny square and then granny stripes. And which is also the beauty of the pattern because it's not very cold here. I don't stay outside when it is very cold very often. And this is great for wearing to the mall, to the, just around the house, decorating the tree. It's a granny square. It is acrylic, so it doesn't breathe, but it breathes just fine because, once again, I keep saying this, it's a granny square. So it breathes, of course. And the holes are rather pronounced. When you're wearing it, you really don't notice it, but they're not little. This was a J-hook. This is, look at that. Isn't that cute? I only did 5 rows of her ribbed edging, but it's amazing. I love front post, back post double crochet. It gets me every time. And I did about 5 rows. She did a bit more because her sweater was a bit bigger. The sleeves were longer, everything was a bit looser, the whole sweater was longer. So I put the other half, like I mentioned, I stopped. So I did the granny square of the back and a little bit of the first front panel. So when I picked it back up, I did the rest of the front panel, did the other front panel, did the seaming, which is, let's see if I could show that to you right there. Not terrible, but enough to let me know that it has an inside and an outside. So I can't wear it inside out, which is fine. And then I put on the sleeve, which I used her more tapered edge. She has 2 different sleeve suggestions, and I used the one that tapers down a good bit more. It's a little bit snugger. So of course then I did the other sleeve following my notes. Then I put on the edging for the arms, which I think was out of order, but that's okay. By the time I was doing this, the pattern was all done because I took that long break. Then you do the lapel. By the way, this is, I love this yarn in red, just plain red. Then you do the bottom edging, which turned out fabulous. I could not be more pleased. It was quick and easy and fun, and I get a sweater out of it. I'm used to sweaters when you knit like taking forever, so this was just like instant gratification. I need more. So I'm sure more are coming in the new year because it's great. It's going to be great for spring, and that I just love a granny square. I could see multi-colors. Ooh, ideas. I now have my next item. These are my husband's fingerless gloves. They're going in his stocking. They match his hat that I made him. They have a cute little texture. I'm very excited. These were super quick too. All of my projects so far have been very quick because who has that long to devote during gift knitting season? But these are just the cozy mitten. I have the Ravelry page up. I used my size 5 cubics, and I love cubics. They wear on the fingernail of my ring finger right there, but that's it. Aside from that, they're my favorite. I take them over a round needle any day, and I would like them in more sizes. I have metal and wood, so I would like them in other sizes because they're awesome. I used Stonehenge Farm, and this is their Storm colorway. This is all I have left. The ball gave me a hat for my husband and 1 pair of gloves. And I have a ball of the same kind of yarn in light blue for me, so I'm excited. I will be getting some soon too. I wouldn't have changed anything. I like the needle size, I like the sizing. It did say to use a stretchy bind off, and unfortunately, I wish I hadn't. I wish I just bound off regularly in a rib stitch because I don't think it needs it there. And it looks a little bulky. So it said bind off in a stretchy bind off, but I did, I bound off, wrapped one, bound off, wrapped one, so it would have a little bit of extra. But I kind of think next time I won't do that because that's not an area where you need a crazy amount of stretch. He's going to be able to move his fingers just fine, whether that has a crazy bind off. His hands are a little bit bigger than mine too, so they'll be even more accessible. And this yarn was fabulous. He loved the colorway when he saw it. It's a very matte black, and that gray stripe of the heather was just so interesting. He saw it and he just had to have it. And he loves the hat that he has in it. He's had it for about a month or two now, and he's wearing it like crazy. So this will be great to add into his little repertoire of warmies for this time of year. Now, that is my last finished object. But I do have a half off object. I'm super excited to share this because, hello, it's my pattern. Okay, this is my first knitted pattern, but it's a convertible mitten. This is the extra large size. And I traced the diagram of the size that I needed and kind of worked from there backward. This is Encore by Plymouth in navy blue. It's got some rib, more rib, and a little bit of rib around the thumb. My hand is much smaller than the prototype. Let me see if I can make this. See the hand? And there's mine. So it's much bigger than my hand. And that was my chicken scratch. Hey guys, come back. There you are. Okay, there you go. But yeah, so my hand stops here and it goes to here. So that's why everything's looking just a little floppy. But it fits. I've tested it on extra large hands. I had to test the extra large first because it's a little less accessible to me. And now I get to make the second one. I'm so pleased. I did it on the 5s again. Again, my cubics. These are my go-to mitten needles. I love them. They're wooden, but they're hard as a rock. I don't know if it's because they're cubics or not, but they are amazing. The Encore Plymouth, I don't know. There's, of course, better yarn. It's, I think, 80% acrylic, but I figured this was nice because this will be a gift for a family friend, and I don't know how well he takes care of wool or if he's had wool, so machine washable is the way to go. And I know that there's washable wool, but I just figured this was my best bet, and it's so economical, and it just holds up like crazy. And I'm gonna make some for my son and probably some for the husband. I think he'd like them too, and maybe some for a kid size because the little guy will see everybody else with them and probably want some also. So very excited. I've never made a knitting pattern before, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. We have to go button hunting. Button hunting. There we go. So that is my only hope because sock knitting has not happened. I think my next sock knitting will be my Christmas Eve cast on of Christmas yarn, and that has been decided. It will be this guy. There we go. Boop. Heritage sock prints, and this is number 26. Christmas! Isn't that cool? That'll be fun to work on this year. And then I will have a whole new pair of Christmas socks next Christmas. I have purchased just a couple things. This is for Christmas hats. The Bernat blanket for Christmas hats is amazing, and it washes clean because I get makeup on my Christmas hats all the time, and because they sit right here, right on the makeup line. So this is fabulous, and I have a couple more to make. So I got another ball of the Bernat. I think it's about $3 at Walmart, and it's so puffy. It works up so fast. It's just instant gratification crochet at its best. Rosina over at Zines and Roger sent a pattern. She made a beautiful pattern that she has offered. It's the Santa hat in the bulkier yarn, and she also made a little garland, and I want the garland super bad. I think it'll look really great back there. And I figure I could do 2 hats out of each of these colors because they're tiny, and I think it'll look adorable. Got to get my little pom-pom maker going, and this is, of course, my first ball, actually, a Bernat pop. I'm just a Bernat animal this week, aren't I? God, I don't think I've had any Bernat in a very long time. But yeah, Bernat pop. Does she have a name? I don't know if the colorway. Size 4, I checked that out. Paisley pop. How cute. 100% acrylic. It looks a little bulkier to me than most size 4 yarns, so I think it's going to work even though the pattern is for something, I think it's chunky, and which is awesome because it'll work up super fast. Other things I received was this amazing yarn ball. Is it the Yarn Valet? Yes, the Yarn Valet. And I know they sell this. I want to say Hobby Lobby, it might be Michael's, and I'm so excited to try it. It was gifted to me by a Secret Santa, and it's so cool. It has 2 holes. The cool thing is this one kind of bends forward so you can slip the yarn underneath if you already have the project started, because that is an issue that I deal with anything that has just a hole right there. If I've already started the project, you can't use the yarn ball after that, because what are you going to do? Stick your whole project or the whole ball of yarn through that hole? No, you'd have to cut it, which reasonable, but I really like that feature. And I've seen some people online have decoupage theirs, so we have to decide what I want on my Yarn Valet, because I love to decoupage, and I'm really excited. Somebody had my number on that one. I was so thrilled to receive that. I was beside myself. My next project that I'm working on is a blanket, and it's knitted. I'm using lots, hopefully, this is optimistic, it's really only just begun, but I plan to use lots of scrap yarn in this blanket, and I'm holding 2 strands of worsted weight acrylic together for my garter squish. Check him out. It is a Stephen West pattern, so West Knits, free pattern online, and it's so squishy. My older son saw the pattern. He's just like, that looks awesome. He never does that when he's looking, because I'm always looking at patterns. He's just like, that is awesome. And he's just like, oh, it is super simple. You knit back, you knit forth, you knit back, you knit forth. At the end, you do a tiny little thing to get this I-cord edging, which is gorgeous. And I could not be more pleased. I'm going to use colors all the way through, change the colors out, and just use different shades of gray with them. So I picked up some different grays today. Speaking of shopping, I think after this, I'm going to go to the mall. I shouldn't. It's going to be crazy, but I kind of want to go to the mall. I was watching Gemma Darling do her Vlogmica this morning, and she went to the mall, and she said just park far away, which that's a given, right? I think I need to go. So we're gonna see about that. I might have to take you guys with me. And I have another in progress. This is Rosina over at Zines and Rogers. Holy smokes. And I'm gonna brighten up because, dude, I could not be more in love with this color, this yarn, and this pattern. I have a long story, well, medium story. It goes along with why I'm making myself a shawl right before Christmas. But it's kosher. My littler son wanted a shawl, and he decided he wants a rectangle, like basically a scarf, knitted in thinner yarn, but then he wants kind of a kerchief triangle coming down to cover his chest. So, Izzy. Okay. So, he went and he drew it up for me, and he picked the colors, and then I went and I picked the colors out of my stash, and then I went to start it, and I chose this pattern because I wanted to make this for a while, and I thought he would enjoy it for wrapping up and everything. But then he saw it and he said, no, you might note in my drawing that I want all the colors mixed all through the entire thing. Like, oh, and that's true. It was in the drawing. So we went and we chose another yarn that was more colorful, and I'm going to make him a colorful shawl. And I'll just knit back and forth, hopefully, with the little kerchief and kind of attach that after the fact, I think. Wish me luck. Maybe I'll crochet it. I'd feel a little bit more confident if I had crocheted it. But in the process, I had started this, and I love it. Like, really, look at that. Isn't that pretty? The Tosh Merino Light is a single ply. It just turned out so pretty. So I was going to use those bright colors with this, but when I found out it was going to be for me and not him, I went to a lighter color with some blues and purples, but they really distracted from the depth of the blues and the tonal quality that's there. So I looked for something darker to fade it. By the way, this is also a G-hook. And this is what I faded into it. So this is Medusa by Hedgehog Fibers. There is some deep blues, turquoise, emerald greens, and just a little bit of black. And I think it looks really pretty up against there. So I'm very excited, but I am going to make myself put this down for just a minute because it's Christmas. I have stuff to make for other people. But oh, I'm excited. So pretty. I have done some fade projects and I've been kind of hesitant about starting new ones because so often they're the same stitch for quite a while, and I don't want to really sign on to that right now. My hands need something interesting right now if I'm going to finish it. And this is totally it. See the texture? She has a little bit of a pattern going on even in the flat parts, and I love it. And then she went to this. This is the cane stitch. I actually looked up an internet site for it and couldn't find it, so I had to buckle down, I had to convert the UK terms to US terms, and then I had to kind of cut, so I opened my own PDF with all the information because my brain really needs to be able to just see it and follow it line by line when I learn a new stitch. But then it's with me forever, and I think I struggled through about that much of it, the first like 5 canes. After that, I was golden and addicted. Put it out there. I put the put it in US terms, and then I moved over the stitch information down to the part of the pattern where I first needed the cane stitch, and then I pushed enter after every instruction because her instruction was awesome, but my brain needs to see line, line, line because I usually work from chart. So line, 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 and then I was stuck on 2 places in this one little stitch because I didn't see the chain 1 that she had. I think 1 or 2 chain 1s, and it was affecting the look of it. And then I was like, oh, I'll just have to put one in there. But then when I dissected it, I saw, lo and behold, she had it in there the entire time. It was right in front of me. So it was perfect. The pattern's written fabulously. It is simple and awesome, and the cane stitch is my friend. Isn't that fun? It reminds me of the wicker chairs from the 80s. I just love it. I love wicker. I love all things 80s. But look at that. It's so cool. Look at that. I could not be more in love. I can't wait to finish. But I'm going to make myself wait. Aren't they pretty together? So that has been my makings for this week. I'm really excited to move on, but I do want to also think about next year. Now, I do have a couple goals. I wouldn't call them resolutions. I had some things that I made for goals last year and they did not get accomplished. There was a lot of pattern writers that I wanted to explore and I just didn't. I did a lot of making. I'm very proud of what I accomplished this year. I learned a lot. I loved every minute of it. I didn't do a bunch of things that I didn't want to do. And that's pretty much what this is all about. Crafting is therapy. It's something that's there because you love it in the middle of doing things perhaps that you aren't loving. So I don't see the point in doing a whole bunch of things that I don't love. I would love to get to some of those 2017 goals, and I will keep them up. We'll just let it ride. We'll call it 2017 goals that I just hope to accomplish. Because there's some pattern writers that have some gorgeous patterns that I just didn't need the finished product of this year, or didn't find the yarn that I wanted in the patterns, or just one reason or another why I didn't zero in. So this year, yarn related and not yarn related, I want to blog a lot so I can get better at it. I want to fix my blog that I accidentally killed last month. I changed my Blogger website name, not realizing that would kill the links on everything I ever linked to my blog from. So my traffic went from it It was like, oh my goodness. And I didn't realize for a few days. I went to check my statistics just to do my basic work and everything. And my views were places I've never seen low. It was crazy. I was so confused until I figured out what happened. But I just decided to take the opportunity, and I'm going to go to WordPress and I'm going to learn it, and I'm excited about that. Let's see, there's other things I would like to definitely want a podcast every week. So what's that, 52 episodes? Ooh, that's a lot. Let's make the goal 35, just in case. We'll do 35 episodes next year, and hopefully I'll just blow that out of the water. That's about all I have, really. I want to do a lot of yoga. I've always done yoga. I love yoga. It helps with my yarn love. It helps with life. It helps me just feel better. And I really let that slip this last year. I just let other fitness modalities prioritize themselves over my yoga, and I miss it, because yoga is something that has been there for me my entire adult life that I just cannot suggest more to anybody. So there is that. So yoga, blog, vlog, that's about it. Aside from that, I'd love to hear about your goals, knitting related, crochet related, life related. Let me know down below. That would be awesome. And I will be starting some new alongs in the new year. I'm very excited to share. I have some prizes that I've received already. They're so pretty, and I can't wait to do some stuff with you guys. If you would like to join me over on Instagram, that is linked below. So is my Snapchat if you are on there. I love Snapchat. Filters are kind of awesome. Below you'll find the link to my blog. You'll find the link to the Ravelry group. And if you have any questions or comments, like I said before, I'd love to hear from you. So give you a big hug. Merry Christmas. If I don't see you before then, hopefully I will. But Merry Christmas, and take very good care. Bye, guys. Ooh. This one is also by Rosina over at Zines and Roger. Oh! They fell, honey. People down.
Sorry.
Not your fault, honey. Not your fault. I forgive you. Oh. Sorry about that. Hope you're okay.